handle here. We buffed out our handle. Now what we're gonna do here is buff it out a little more. I'll take this, that, this, and that. And I'm just gonna grab the two inner parts to give it the curvature. If you want curvature, you would actually, if you have a thick enough mesh, you can grab the outer layers. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab the inner layers, seeing as to how this is so thin. Grab that, that, and that. And mind you, when I move this, it's not going to interfere with our clip. I'll move this, do the same thing to the other side. I didn't select that on the other side. Let me see. Nope, I didn't select that. So I'm going to select this, this. Now another easier, I'm just doing both sides at once for myself because that's how I'm used to. But if you wanted, you can actually split the mesh in half and work within a duplicate. Just go to duplicate by special, and literally it would do everything I'm doing manually. It would do it for you when you duplicate by special. So I'm just gonna hit R for my scale, and I'm gonna just bring the whole thing out. Let's see what happens. Oops. There we go. Just bring it out. Okay. Make it big enough for your model's hand to fit around. Make a nice, comfortable guard. And then we're going to go here. Back to our vertex. That handle's pretty nice, but since we made it everything thicker, we're going to go ahead and take all that in. I just now grabbed all 3 vertices for the handle. Bring that back. Just a little. Alright. I can live with it. Let me play with the trigger. Go here. Double click. Select the whole thing. Do the same thing here. Double click. Let's make that a downer. Push it out. Give it some character if you want. Let's give it some character. And so say if it was like, you know, like that. Almost like an ear shape. I can live with it. Give it some character. Now, we have all of this done. And then we have our model at the bottom here. So what you want to do here is go to your object mode. It's Q, your Q key, just to zero out. And what we're going to do here is we have our mesh button right here, the button to eject the clip for our character. And this is starting to kind of look a little generic. So I want to do, and mind you, this is still smoothed. I have not done anything since the last video. If I hit 1, back to squared. And this is where I'm going to work from. I'm seeing things. You see that? Those 2 lines there? What is that? Let's fix that. Before we do anything, let's fix this. I don't like this. Go to vertex. Let's hit F on that. You see, there's the problem. So I'm going to grab these 2. Those 2 right there. Those are my little problem areas. And I'm going to drag them right in. And there we go. Just like that. You don't want your mesh to collapse inward on itself, basically. Now see, I'm seeing it again. I'm going to click this and hit F. You see that? We don't like that. I don't like it. And there it is. There's our problem. So on the under half, grab these 2. Drag it down. And you can give it some curvature by going a little further down. Like, let's say if I went all the way down here. Let's see what that looks like. See? Now you see how that has some sort of curvature to it? I actually like that. I'll leave that just like that. Let's hit 3 on this and see what that does. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, I can live with it. Now let's add some detail. to our lower portion. So what we're going to do here is go to our mesh tools, multi-cut, and I'm going to literally just draw what I think this gun should look like. I'm going to just draw it. Now, now you're going to experience why the multi-cut tool is so cool. So, here we go. I'll grab this edge here. You can click the middle of the mesh. You can literally draw on your mesh. Now, select that. And I can put that here. Right click. I see how I just drew that line with no vertice onto the mesh. I was just there. I'm talking about that purple dot that I'm highlighting. You can do that all over the mesh. I can literally write my name on this. So what you're going to do here is go here. Let's just go crazy with it. Here. No, I don't know. No. In the middle. And then there. Yeah. You can literally draw out what it is you're trying to do. Go here. And because I just put this little dot that I highlighted, you see how it goes from red to blue? This dot here, I'm going to do the same thing. Draw that line out here. And I'm going to connect it to the trigger, giving you more room to do detailing. And then let's do it again. Repeat tool. Either that or your G key. And boom. 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 Okay. I'm doing this the hard way. Now what I'm going to do here is, because I see all these V's I have, they're like V-shaped objects on the side of our firearm. I will take the center of it with our hit your G key, with your multi-cut, and literally select each center piece, connecting them. Okay. And now, just because, let's hit 3 on this and see what we have, just to be sure. Okay. Topology, still good. Just added a little shape to it. So now, go back to squared mode. One key. What I want to do here is, if you can't see it, how that's all lopsided, I'm gonna fix that. Vertex. Select all the areas that are all loppy like that and lopsided. And square it out. Yep. That took some measurement, but all the same. I just want it even. That's all I want. You see how it's all zigzaggy? We don't want that. Hit your R key, and the one that goes inward, the one on the very outer, either that or the top one, the left to right or the up to down. Put it like that. I'm using my up to down. Scale it, and then the left to right to spread it. Let's see how that looks. Good. I like it. And you're going to see the reason why I like it in a second. So now, there's multiple ways we can do this next part, but let's be complicated. What I would do is use multi-edge loop. Insert edge loop. And I will select this. Nope, that's not what I want. I don't know if you can see that green polka dot line, but that's not the direction I want it to go. Let's see what it did. Okay, it's working off the back of the hammer. So no, I don't want that. Hit Z on that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is the same thing I did last time. Go to your mesh tools, multi-cut, select a vertice, and go all the way back to the hammer area. See how that line connects? Hit Q. There we go. And I have a triangle here. See, if you count the sides, 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 sides to this little point here. Put my face on it. Put the face. F. I have a 3-sided object. I don't like those. So literally, go to your object mode. Hit G for your multi-cut tool. And literally click once on the edge you want to select. Just one time. And hit Q. Now you have a 4-sided object. Only one object. Look. See how I squared it? It'll be a nice little hand guard for the person wielding the firearm. Okay. And that right here, where the hammer ends, we're going to just go ahead and select these other outer vertices here. We can come down to the handle, where the handle begins or ends for the hammer, and just pull it out. Right about there. Way prettier. Okay. I don't know why I still have the top smoothed, but if I hit the 3 key on this, everything should kind of come together. Until we do this, we're gonna paste and match all of this together. So all this extra space you see here, don't even worry about it. It's gonna get ugly before it gets good. So now, what to do next? We're detailing. Okay, go back to square mode. Now the same thing we did for the chamber, we're gonna just do for this. I'm eyeballing it, so I'm just gonna put things in places. Say we're here, here, and here. Okay. Go to your edit mesh, extrude tool, W key, F key, zoom in, and pull that straight back. Right about there. Okay. And then at the edge here, we can literally just take this and take this and hit G key for extrude, R key for scale. You want to scale first and then move. R key for scale. And then you just move that in. Scale it down a little. Hit F to zoom in. And let's see how this looks. Okay, let's make it even, side to side. There we go. And then I can hit the G cube again. I use the mesh tool for this. And take it in right about there. A little further. Right there. Now you see how that's kind of starting to have a little look to it. Now let's zoom out. Let's hit 3 on this and see what we just did. Okay. So now we have these giant circles. It looks kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Let's go to our edge tool. We're gonna do this while we're in smooth mode. Double click. It stops there. So click these two. Do the same for the outer ring. Double click. Double click. It stops there because we connected it to the trigger. So what we're going to do here is click this, that, and that. So I selected those 3. Let's go back to the tool we just talked about. The crease tool. 3rd down from mesh tools. Middle click. Alright, it did its thing. So and when you still have an oval like that, I wanted them to be square. But when you still have an oval like that, let's hit F on this. So zoom in. And we're going to do these inner parts. Double click. If you double click a vertex at this angle, depending on your angle that you're going, it'll select it all the way around. See how I just selected all of it all the way around right here? So I'll select that. I'll select the inner rings too. I just did it to this one, so I'm hitting my G key to repeat, and then boom. That's what I like. That's what I like. G key to repeat that, and now we have a little bit of a realistic shape with our design. I'm just throwing a general aspect about it. You don't have to do your model like this, but the tools and where you place things are important. Grab that, the outer ring, and middle click, drag it. Perfect. This is the crease tool we're using. In a smooth motion. And when you're looking at it from a smooth aspect, you want to use your crease tool. Double click, nothing. Okay. Select it manually. Double click. Selected those outer rims. Repeat that tool. And there we go. It looks kind of ugly right there though. Let's fix that. Now, even though you creased, you see that? That's why it looks so ugly to me. That right there. So, let's see what's going on here. That's not the right axis. So I'm going to my squared mode. That's the problem I'm having. Right here and here. If I bring this out. Then right about there. And then I'm going to go to my face. Remember what we did for the chamber? We're going to do the same exact thing. Look at the under half to make sure I'm not selecting any. Okay. Delete that. Now that that's deleted, the same thing we did for the chamber. We're going to go to our multi-cut. Oops. Multi-cut tool. I don't know why that tool's still active, but it shouldn't matter. I will put a cut here. And I'll put another cut here. Right there. Let me get rid. I don't know why I work from this aspect, but let me hold on. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Let me get rid of my outliner too. There we go. All right. So we're gonna work from there. None of that's really required at the moment. Grab that. Grab this. Edit mesh. Merge it. Perfect. Outer in the inner one. Okay. Connect it. Still a four-sided object, but the object abruptly ends at the bottom. I don't want to go over my time again, but I can't help but get into the detailing aspect of this. So even though we have our detailed aspect of this firearm, the same way we did our human face, we're gonna go ahead and start to model this and make it playable, renderable. Go here. Let's go ahead and hit the 1 key on the whole object. Whole object squared. Now you see how the hammer's kind of overlapping? I'll grab these two areas here. They look like they would connect anyway. And I would go to merge to center. So even though that they're merged to center together, but they're two separate meshes. So even if I was to go to here, square it out, and select one of those edges, you see how they come apart? That was merged to this one. I'll hit my Z key so you can see right now. It goes right back. So they're not connected, they're just lined up. Merge to center just lines you up, but merge actually makes everything connect. So that's merged to center. And I hit G key for merge to center. And this is a good way to just shape out where everything is supposed to be. Merge to center. Gotta fix that. Let's see. That's good. If you have a few colliding surfaces, make sure the surfaces are not within the gameplay view. So even if I was to so say I just merged those two things. Say if I was to go to object mode and select the chamber, I'll hit my W key. Oh god, it's doing that. Alright, hold on. I hit my W key on my chamber. Let me go fetch this. Hit insert. Go up. Put the tool where you need it. And then hit insert again. Hit F. Right back. Okay, so now say if I got that like that and just pulled this back. See how everything just comes together? Like it just fits. Pull this. You see our chamber wall coming back. That will eject our round. Just like that. And then we're going to add a boolean. I'll show you what a boolean does our next video. But then our next step is to get this gun rigged and ready to fire. And I'll show you everything about that in my next video. I think I'm running out of time. But this is Corey Sir Matrix here. And stay tuned for the next video. Feel free to subscribe. Hey everyone. It's me again, Corey Sir Matrix. And we're here with this firearm. It's all ugly and whatnot. We're going to go ahead and add some more detail to this. Couldn't get into depth with the last video. But here we go. Now we're going to continuously use the same tools that we've been using just for the detailing aspect, for the physical mesh. So here we go. Hopefully you memorized or wrote down the tools that I had used. We're still in the same place as the last video. This is just part 2 of that video. Let's go. Object mode. Here. Select both meshes. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this. It's really bulky. See how I select both meshes at the same time via object mode and it all synchronized together while still maintaining the diameters to fit the clip. Okay. I'm gonna just go ahead and all the tools that I'm about to use right now to add details to this are the tools I just told you about in the previous episodes. So here we go. Hit 3 on that. I like that, how that looks. Okay. Okay. Go to my edge. Bing bong. There we go. Boom. I'm going to go ahead and go to my edit mesh and Oops, not detach. Hit Z on that. Chose the wrong thing. Extrude. Hit the W key on that. Make that there. And that's good. Now I'm just eyeballing. You don't have to do it like this. You can obviously use a reference point, but I like to eyeball. Eyeballing makes you way better at this program. Got my hammer area there. We'll work on that. See what we can get done. Hit 3 on this. Sometimes when you have your whole model already in front of you, working in a smooth aspect is just helpful. So now let's see what we got. Okay. Alright. Let's smooth this out. Hit 3. Okay, hit 3. Alright, thank you. Okay, so now I know what that looks like. I'll keep it like that. We can keep it like that. Okay. Object mode on this. And just lower. Okay. And it's starting to come together a little. Now, go back to square mode. I like to work from a square mode, but everybody's different. You can do whatever you want. But once you know your tools, you're unstoppable. Here, select these edges accordingly. I'll grab you too. Yeah. And then select these areas. I can live with it. W on that. Bring that up a little. Now you're starting to see where the chamber is going to connect to your. Now I eyeballed this. This is starting to look more and more like a Colt 45. The more and more I play with it. So let's just keep going. And bring that in. Let's add some curvature to here. Let me get rid of this. I'm starting to get sick of looking at this. There we go. Way better. Okay. I gotta get rid of that. Alright. Let's scope this inward a little. Adaptable. Right there is cool. And mind you, this is just eyeballing. It's not hard. If you know how to draw, you know how to do this. Object mode. I'm going to thin this out a little more. Now, mind you, our clip is here. The last video I kind of messed up. I didn't know really what was going on there. But if the clip doesn't fit, I'll show you how to actually make it. I had messed up on that last one. Object, no vertex, vertex mode. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up, and I'm gonna click the other outers, the outer two vertex, and I'm gonna bring the whole thing up. Okay. Scale tool, hit your R, and scale that right on in to where that is. Now, mind you, this isn't important right now, even if the edges don't match up. I'll show you. I'll show you real quick. It'll take 2 seconds. If you see how I have my vertex tool selected, you see the little purple dots. I will take this Go to the mesh that's unselected, and then just hit vertex. Now, if I go to that vertex and that vertex, see how I have those two highlighted right here? These two that are highlighted. If I go to my tools, mesh tool is it? Or is it? It's edit mesh, merge. You can do this with your vertex, and then you have the option you want is merge to center. You want merge to center. Merge combines them permanently. Merge to center just merges them together without combining them. Hence the barrel. So I have that now. Now say if we wanted to animate this, you see how these are even. What I just merged are perfectly even. I'll say if the gun fired, you would select this and bring this 90 degrees back. You see that kind of how that I don't know why they're still attached, but you see how that kind of makes sense. Undo that. Hit press your Z key to undo until you need it. There it is. All right. Now let's just throw on some more detailing here. Now the chamber. In order to do the chamber accurately, we want to mess with the clip because that's where all the action is going to happen. We have our general shape for our firearm, but now let's do the clip. Now this is another fun fact moment here. If you got a pen and paper, write this down. This is very important. You see how I have my clip selected? If I go to my channel box, it's the very top one here. Okay, you see how I have my translated y-axis? It's on a -8.8 axis. And if you don't know what that means, let me explain it. If I hit my W key and move this clip upward, you see how that number changes? When I insert, this is very important when it comes to setting a keyframe. You see how the clip doesn't fit? It's going through the mesh. Okay. What I'm going to do here is hit Z on this. And now, I'm going to show you what to do when you're messing with this. When you're dealing with this, what you want to do is go to your modify. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth one over on your main tool set. You're going to go down to 1, 2. And you want to hit reset transforms. Now normally you can do reset transforms as many times as you want, but for the time being I'm gonna do it right now. Now I want you to watch that translate Y when I click this to 0. Okay, so it's probably gonna do something funky like this, but now that place's transform. So no matter what I do, let's lower it here. Let's measure it out. Since it wants the defect, we'll take the time to measure it. See how you can still see it? Okay, we'll place that about here. Right there will do. I like it. Let's try that again. Modify, freeze transforms. Now that's that place. Freeze transform. Modify. It's in the third down. Now reset transforms. That does something completely different for you. But freeze transforms will zero you out. So no matter what you do, so say that's where the clip goes, right? This is our clip. And say if you moved it over here. Now you see how the z-axis is now corresponding. It goes by graph. The y-axis is upward. The z-axis is across. So what you would do here is click your Z, zero that out. You can zero out anything that changes here. And once you zero it out, watch this. Undo, and just click right back in. Freeze transforms. Okay. real quick before I spend too much time. Let's say if I freeze the transform on this mesh. Go to modify, freeze transform. I'll go here. See how the scale X is on the X axis? I don't like that. I'm gonna modify, freeze transform. All zeros. That's what you're looking for. All zeros. So say if I did this. Say if I messed it up on purpose. I put that over there. I put this over here. And then I'll move this back. So now we have a completely disassembled weapon. Now all you gotta do here is click your mesh, click your object. See that -3? 0. Click the other mesh. You see that 8? You see that 0.8 right here? 0. Right back. You see this? See I have a positive 3.2? 0. All reassembled. Perfectly. Except for the clip. We're going to work on that now. So I will select our clip. Go here. I'll pull it down. Remember the freeze is frozen in that area, so no matter what we do to it, it will always fit perfectly back into your weapon. Pull that down. It's a little too big. Hit my F tool for zoom. It's a little too big to fit into our firearm. So what we could do if you was to get greedy with it, we could restart that whole process, which I'll do. I'll do that. So I'm gonna delete this, delete that clip because we modified our handle, and I messed up on the last video with this. Go here inside our firearm face, and I'm gonna go here. Make sure I got the bottom of it. Last time I used duplicate face. Let's see what happens right now. Duplicate face. Object mode to select that surface. There it is. There it is. Okay. So you see now that surface is selected, but the rest of the gun is not. That's what you're looking for. Pull it down. Perfectly fitted. Perfectly fitted. Now we see. Notice how this is all black and that is gray. It means that your mesh here is inside out. Go to your edge. Select these outer edges at the bottom, and literally flip it inside out like a T-shirt. See how it goes right in. And if you want to get clever, go to your wireframe. You can see exactly where the clip is supposed to go. See how the lines here add up? 90 degrees straight up. And just try to fit it. You can eyeball it. You can eyeball everything. If you know how to draw, you can do it. And hit my W. I'll select the whole entire mesh, object mode. And just jam the clip right on in there. Sometimes your direct tool, this little tool that I'm using, will be off center. Fun fact, write this down. Hit your insert key. It's right next to your delete key. DEL, the DEL key, the delete key. It's right next to it. Insert. And when you press it once, you can move this to where you need it to be. It would just help your mesh out so much more. So, and then once you place it, hit the insert key again, and boom, that's where our geometry will move from. So as I can see here, I want it to come all the way up to distribute the rounds. The bullets will come from out of this, but the clip, where's the clip? So now what I'm gonna do, there's multiple ways of doing this, but let's do it the complicated way. Scale it upward like this. That'll do it. You need a little bit of the clip exposed. Bring that down. Let's see what this is happening. Okay, a little too big, a little too big. Don't want that much clip. and just bring it. I kind of like it there, but I'll drop it right about to here. Here we go. Fit inside the handle and inside the gun perfectly. And it's already kind of perfect. Let's take a look at it from undo wireframe. Perfectly fit. Perfect fit. So now that we have that, now that we did the clip over, we're going to bring the clip out of the firearm. Kind of like an extended clip. It's kind of long for a clip, but I'll live with it. Now, seeing as to how that was created from a whole nother polygon mesh, you see the translations is on the Y translations here, -10. What you want to do is go to your tool we just talked about, modify, freeze transforms, 0. So no matter where it moves, so I'm bring it up to here. They see that -1? Click -1, type in 0, click your screen, boom, back. This will be very handy in keyframing. And then you can bring it right up and reload your weapon like this. I kind of like it right there. I like that right there. It says, say if you change your mind about something like how I'm doing right now, we're going to go back to our freaking freeze, transform, right there. Now that's the new position of our mesh. So say if your character had to eject the clip, and he tossed the clip off into the distance, there it goes, and he needs a new clip, what we would do, see how that clip, see all these numbers here? -4, +1, -2, 0, 0, 0. Back in. We'll see if it worked. Yep, back in. Okay, so now we got that down. Select this, bring this down, eject clip. And speaking of ejecting clips, usually on a Colt or any type of pistol that has this type of function, there would be an eject button. Let's put that in. Vertex, no. We're gonna go to our edge here. For this, we'll use our edge. Go to mesh tools, multi-cut tool. Now see, you see how we have this line missing here? This line just abruptly stops right here. We're gonna go ahead and pull that up to here. That's fine. Okay. Now here's what's funny. Here's the fun part. You can literally draw out where your button eject will be with your multi-cut. You see how I just put this triangle here? As long as all your dots connect, and that'll be where our button mash is. You mash that button and the clip comes right out. So go to our edge. It looks kind of like a kite, and then right there, like a little kite that you fly around in the sky. Then select those middle pieces and just hit delete. Boom. Go to our face and just zoom that on down to a button size, button worthy. And for this, this would be considered a minor detail, but what we can do is go to our extrude, because it's not really an active object that would need to move. It just needs to be there, and there's our little button that you would press. So our character's hand would come around this area and press that. You can actually keyframe it to go in if you want to. We'll get into that later. Okay, let's go. Let's hit 3 on this and see what happens. Okay, our handle's coming out nice. It's this upper bulky part right here that we don't want. So let's fix that. Hit 1. We have our hammer area here. It's fitting nice and right. Let's select. You know what? No. Let's select. We're gonna stick to this piece. We'll select these edges here. These are the edges that are disturbing, giving it that bulky sensation. So what we're gonna do here is flatten it and then re-round it again. I have it rounded in the wrong area. So say if that happens to you. We're gonna take these, put this in, do the same thing for the other side. You see how we have a cylinder, but we started with squares? Starting with a square is always simplistic. One of the rules about doing stuff like this is to always make it less work for you. So if you have a deadline to meet, you can meet it. There we go. There we go. Without disrupting the clip or anything, we just squeeze that in. A little too much. Wait a minute. Just want to fit it. There we go. And then I'm going to hit my R key, and I'm going to separate them from each other. Just give it dimension. See how it's fitting into the firearm? That's what we're looking for. Doesn't even really matter. Now it's starting to come together. Do you see what I see? We started off with something so stupid looking, but now we have this. Let's fix this right here. If I double click this. No? Okay. Select these sides right here, my F key. We're gonna select these sides. Double click. Nothing there. Okay. Sometimes if you double click, nothing will happen. That means that the topology on what you're selecting isn't all connected, which would give hint to this blank space right here. If I go to my face, this blank space will disrupt all your edges. Because usually if you double click or anything, double click this, you see how it selects the whole gun around? So I have my Z key, go back to what I was doing. Okay, now what I want to do is, you see how we have that right there? I want to bring that in. Hit my W and just drag it in. Right there to match. Yes, there we go. Just to match it. Okay. We'll get into that detail. We're going to detail this part in a minute. But so far so good. We have something here. We have something here. Now, I didn't intend on making a cult, but it's starting to come together as a cult. Grab these. Hit my W key, bring them in. Just a little bit. Give it some character. Bring these. And you don't have to stick with these lines. I'm just shaping. I'm shaping right now. And now, okay, I kind of like it. Now, what's bothering me here is, if I go to my face, this area here, we know where our chamber is now, at least, but this little area here would never be this exposed on any firearm. So, I'm going to go here, I'm going to click the inner faces and select the bottom one too. Double click on that to make sure it goes all the way around. Scale tool. Bring outward. You can go a little sideways. There it is. And to make it even, up and down, you can actually even it out that way. Alright, so far so good. Let me grab this. I don't like how that looks. Scale it inward towards each other. There you go. There we go. Give it a little character. And have a little character. Now here's where the things get fun. Now, on any firearm, this is not completely exposed like this. But we can still add a a detailed structure, so when the firearm cocks back, this area should be ejecting a firearm, a round of some kind. So I take this. Let's go to our edge. Okay, we'll do it the edge way. And go to our insert edge loop. Select the inner core of the chamber. See how it goes all the way around? Boom. And I'm going to take that. And what I'm going to do here is extrude this. I'm going to extrude this. Extrude. And bring it straight back. Now you see how this covers that area? And you see how these two areas are opposite? So now that we have that extruded, we could do one thing at a time, but at the same time, let's do everything. Select that. Go to our wireframe. We can see our chamber here. Select that. Select that. Our chamber's should be only 4 sides. Select that. Oh, I have something extra selected. What is that? No, not that. There it is. Let's check that. That's not what I want. I feel like I have it. Oh, no, one spot. One space missing. Now, dealing with wireframe can actually be visually difficult if you don't keep track of your topology. So, this one. Let's go. Sometimes you can actually go into the mesh like this. Let's see what I have selected here. I got that selected, but this is the piece I'm missing right there. Right there. Now I have all 4 sides of the chamber wall selected. Took a little bit of time. But now, nope, not up here. Hold shift. Right click, detach face, detach. You could go to extract face. Now it extracted that certain portion of the chamber. Go to object mode. See how that's just the only thing selected. And here we go with the silliness. Now, because this is a new object, you see how where our tool vertex is? This is where it dropped our tool set in. When it goes right back to the center of the grid. Now go ahead, press your insert, pull that up to where your tool is, where you want it. Let's bring it over a little, and press insert again. Let's hit F to zoom in. And now we have our tool there where it needs to be. So now I can pull this out. You see that? But before we do that, let me press Z on this. That is where everything started. So it's already, see how everything's, the mesh is already frozen to this point. So if I brought this piece over here, see how that has a 0.6 to it? Tap 0 on that, brings it right back. That's what you want. So now, let me grab it. Bring this up. Click that. Now, because we extracted the face, it's going to leave a hole. There's a hole on this and a hole on that. As you can see, it goes. You can view into the mesh. Go to your edge, double click on any side. Ooh, I don't want all that. Sometimes double clicking doesn't work, and when it doesn't work, just go ahead and just click all 4 sides. Just there's only 4 corners. Right there, right there, and right there. Hit F on that, make sure everything's proper. Yep, everything's good. Now what we want to do here, because you see that hole that you can see into it, we don't want that. So we're gonna go ahead to our modify, or is it edit? Edit, create, select, modify, display. Oh, actually, it'll be on your mesh. On the first mesh, it's right next to edit mesh, it's mesh. What you're gonna do is go down here and hit fill hole. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th down, fill hole. Boom. Look who's back. Don't know why all that is selected like that. Well, unless it made a hole there too. Let's hit Z on that and see what happened here. You know what? We can get rid of this, actually. Because this is where our bullet is going to eject from, so you can delete that. Now this is our clip. What we're looking at here is our clip. Is the clip in? No, the clip is out. This is where our bullets would come from. So, actually, you can delete this. Okay, the bottom of this is actually... So, okay, here's what we're going to do here. We're going to use that same fill hole tool. I just showed you the fill hole tool. But for this particular situation, there's a whole nother tool. We're going to go ahead and hit Q, square this out. Object mode. It is mesh tools, mesh tools. Next to edit mesh is mesh tools. First one is not the, well, the only hide, you don't want that. The tool, when you go to tools, is the first one. Append polygon tool. This is what this does. So, select that edge here. Select that edge there. Boom. Hit Q on that. Go to, you either press G or go to your repeat tool on the side of the screen here. And we're going to do the same thing for the chamber wall. If I can select it. Okay, here we go. There. And there. See that? And press G. G to repeat. There. And there. And Q to square out. There we go. So now we can see where our bullet will come from. With our chamber area wall. Now let's put this back into our firearm. Right here. Go here. You got 0.2 here. Put that on 0. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. We're going to fill this in. Matter of fact, let's do that real quick. If we go here, vertex, and here, select this for vertex too. Always select all your objects on the same setting so you can do it. Here and there. Merge to center. Because even if you select one vertex, you see how it comes out? See how they're not attached? I just merged these two. But they're not attached. They're just merged. Merge to center does that. When you click with a merge, it actually combines them. Okay. Now we have our chamber wall set. So if I go to object mode and just select, oh, they're okay, because they're made out of the same piece. I guess it sees it as combined. If you what you want to do here, because this is the chamber wall. These are two totally different. The chamber and the chamber wall. Chamber wall and actual chamber work separately. So what you want to do here is select the chamber wall. Hold shift, select this. Child to parent always. And then go to mesh and separate. Combined we're going to use later. Separate is what you want to do. Okay, there we go. Shout out to parent. You see how they're both two separate colors? I have that highlighted with green, and I have this highlighted with blonde. Once you see that, go to your mesh and separate. See, that tool keeps messing with us. And you see how that happens? You see how the wall is still right there within the firearm? And this is where a bullet would eject. That's where a bullet would come from. It's starting to look like something now. We have to put this a little inward. So, our edge. And literally just trying to toggle it down. Even it out with our scale. So, slide it over a little. Down. There we go. Almost try to make it disappear. There we go. There we go. It fitted perfectly right into our mesh. I'm gonna get rid of this channel box so y'all can see. So we have that going. It's gonna get uglier before it gets better, but hey, it's coming along. So we're gonna go here, go to our object mode, click this, go open our channel box. See that 0.6 on the Z vertice, on the Z axis? We're gonna go ahead, click that, 0, right back. So now we have a chamber wall here. Okay. This is still kind of looking boxy, so let's see what we can do here. We're gonna hit our edge. I'm gonna select these, the outer portions. You want to leave the inner portions alone because the inner portions are gonna be the ones that give it its curvature. Select U2 and select this. Now you see how this area here kind of comes in an upward angle. If I hit my R tool and just go to the up and down, you know, the one at the very top, the scale tool, it just, you have your left or right, up to down. If you just go to your up and down tool, you see that? See how I just evened that out? This was, you remember how these two were curved from each other. Now they're perfectly even, giving it some dimension here. Grab that, and let's bring that up. Starting to come together. Slowly but surely coming together. And the only thing after detailing and getting your general shape is the internal workings. So I'll go to my extrude. You could add a lot of detail by extruding. So I'm just gonna do this. Scale it down, bring it up a little. Up there. Scale it down a little more. Bring it up a little more. And then hit our extrude tool again. G key. Scale that down. That's fine, I can live with it. And G key again. It's a series of extrusions, that's all it is. Bring that in. That's cool. I like how it's giving that little upside down V shape. Starting to come together. Let's grab this here. I'll grab this. even that out with its bottom, the bottom half. Okay. So far, so good. It's coming together. We have a chamber wall. We have our clip. Now all we gotta do is add a few minor details to this. So I'll make this quick because I think I'm running out of time. Okay. Now, here's a fun fact. Get your pen out. Get ready for this. If I click this mesh, and if I go to my outliner, the outliner is right next to where these tools are. You see how you have these tools here, and it changes your tools for you. You can either hit your Q, W, and E and R key, or you can do it manually by clicking one of these. What you want is your outliner. Outliner is the little black line in between those tools. So now I'm going to hide the bottom part. It still will be there, but I'm going to hide it. And how you do this is by selecting it. Just select the mesh, either one. So say if I selected that and press H. See how it's gone? Got my chamber wall there though. Hit H to hit the mesh so you can hide it. So you can hide it and you can work in detail without being blocked while still keeping the geometry. I'm gonna hit H on that. So now I have my chamber. Okay. Now because I want to add some detail to this, I'm going to go to my edge. And I'm going to go to my insert edge loop. You know how a typical pistol looks. It has this going on. Put that there. Put that there. Put this here. Put that there. And that'll do. I can live with it. Oh, I didn't do it to the other side. Okay. Insert edge loop's always effective, but sometimes it does this. So I'm gonna go to my wireframe, make sure it's even, and do the same thing I just did. What did I just do? Okay, alright. Just checking. Alright. Right there. Right there. Right there. Oops, it went to the other side. Hit Z on that. Always make sure you click the actual edge because it'll go somewhere else on you. And I don't think I only had was 3. There we go, that'll be our 3. Let's make sure we're even. I can live with it. Okay. Now go to our vertex. I'm gonna pull all of these. I'm gonna pull all of these at the same time so they're as even as possible. Let's pull them back. Looks kind of sweet. Okay. That looks kind of hot. Might have to use this in the actual production. Boom. Okay. And like I said, if you can draw it, you can do it. Like, it's not even that serious. I'm gonna do the same thing. If not the same thing, close to it. And a simple way to do this is if I was to just do detailing to one side of the mesh and then duplicate the mesh on the other side, but you don't want 2 chambers on a pistol. So let's see this. Alright, I can live with it. This side's a little bigger than the other side, so I'll scale it down. See? I can live with it. And select these on your face. Go to face, select these. No, not you. Let's do the same to this side. And we're gonna go to our extrude. Extrude this inward by hitting your side scale. This blue line right here, scale it towards itself, little by little. See that? There it is. I should have actually have built some edges into it. Now you see how we have this little thing going on? We have that extrusion popping through the mesh. And we don't want that. So, easy fix to this. We're going to take... we're still on face. We're still on face. We're going to take all of that. Let's see what happens if we do it with one of them. Delete the bottom. See how we have that little hole at the bottom now. What you could do, that comes in there. Let's be decorative. Multi-cut tool. And add 2 dimensions to where it's separated on the outside, on the outer side of it. See, I just added two dimensions, and then our merge tool. Look at that. So now we're going to do that for all of them. But let's see what happens if we hit 3 on this. Okay. And that's with no beveled areas. I didn't bevel anything. I didn't crease anything except this. These are creased. But without crease, it's starting to look pretty. It's starting to have a character to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do exactly the same thing to all these sides, and then I'm gonna unhide, which all you gotta do is go to your outliner, hit H on the hidden mesh, and start to go into deep heart surgery freaking detailing on this mesh, and that would include a UV editor and hyper shader. Which I'll gladly show you. Once you have the general shape, you add a bump map, you'll have your mesh in no time. You'll have your object, your model done in no time. Insert edge loop. Put that there. G. Oops. And put that there. Oh, I'm using the wrong tool. Multi-cut tool, please. Thank you. Merge those. That's coming together. It's kind of scary. Multi-cut. And sometimes it can get a little redundant on you, especially when you're making the detailing process of everything, because it's crucial eyeball contact with your mesh and adding the most littlest of things that can get to your mental psyche. But if you find it fun, you don't really ever see it as work. Merge that, and there we go. We can call that fixed. The reason why I added that inner core is because I don't want to create triangles at the bottom of our firearm here in the chamber. That will be a render problem. And do the same thing. Because now we know it works. Grab that. Grab that. Grab that. Delete those. Speed through this. I don't know how much time I have. Multi-cut. Right there. I'm gonna just do it real quick on the other side. Right here. And right there. Just get two out of the way at one time. And vertex. Let's click one so we can get in there. Hit F on there to get in there. And bring that to that. Merge. Same process. And let's do this final one. Multi-cut. Multi-cut basically allows you to just draw into the mesh. Vice versa, edge loop, which will just loop the edge around for you. And the edge is kind of what you need to detail. Merge that. Oops. Mergey. Okay. Got that in there. And we would do the same thing for this whole area here, but that would be super time consuming. So let's say if we did this. Say if we took that area here, selected this. Yeah, right about there. We did the same thing for the other side. 1, 2, 3. Extrude it. Scale tool. And bring that in. Let's see here. Let's even that out. Scale that. Go inward on it. It's already done. Okay. Two sides are even. And if you really want to get into a topology sculpting while keeping your topology correct, I'll grab this outer edge here, do the same thing on the other side, and I'll pull it 90 degrees forward. Kind of like that. Okay. I can live with it. Let's bring that out. There we go. Let's hit 3 on this and see what it looks like. Okay. Alright. Select this. Or to scale. And from a smooth aspect, just bring it out a little. There we go. There we go. I like that. There we go. That's cool. And then grab our edge. Let me go back to my square mode because avoid complication. Here. Double click. Okay, it went down. Alright. Double click this, grab that, double click. It goes all the way down. Same thing here. Double click. Grab that. Double click. Now this is this next move is a fun tool. Get ready to pull your pen out. What you want to do is go to your mesh tools, and it's the 1, 2, 3, third down crease tool. Now if I press my 3 key, which will smooth this out. Middle mouse drag once the tool is selected. Watch this. Now you see how it kind of gave us a more solid foundation on there. We'll do the same thing for here. See that? Grab this and this. Do the same thing. Middle mouse drag. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, it's starting to have some character. It's coming to life. It's coming to life. Now let's use that crease tool again right here. It's no chamber on planet Earth is this oval. Select the outer chamber area. Select that. Middle mouse drag. Oh, you want more? Okay. When you still have an oval, just select its outer edges right here, the connecting components. Boom. You're gonna have to reshape that middle model too. But I don't even think it's smoothed. Let's go here. Smooth the whole thing. Okay. There, that's what it looks like when it's smoothed. Let's get that out of there. Back to our squared. Most of your detailing features would come from a squared aspect. Let me bring this back. Hit H on this. There it is. Alright. Now we see it. We have a lot more detail on this now. It's gonna get uglier before it gets better. Okay. But we have a pretty decent looking cult. 3 on that. It's starting to get prettier and prettier. Still ugly, but getting there. I like it. I like it. I like it. Still a little bit more detailing to go on in the handle area. Added the trigger, and we